Hi, I'm back. I created a video about 13 weeks ago regarding my scapholunate surgery that I had back on March 13th, March 15th, somewhere around there. At my right hand, I had injured it doing burpees several years ago, and I finally decided to get it fixed. When I uploaded the first video, it was 3 days later. I promised I would do a follow-up video, so this is my follow-up. So as far as recovery went, I found out afterwards that the scapholunate was completely torn when they went in to fix it. But also because I'd been compensating, doing pretty much everything on my knuckles for several years, I had a partially torn TFCC ligament. I don't know what that is. Apparently it's on the outside of the wrist here somewhere that they cleaned up. I got to say that if I'm going to have trouble in this recovery, it's probably going to be with the TFCC, because the scapholunate seems to be, well, it's not scapholunate anymore, whatever ligament it was they replaced this with, seems to be healing pretty well. As far as what, I guess, happened for the several weeks in between then and now, after the first probably 3 or 4 days, I didn't need any more Norco to control the pain. I think I took a total of 11 of those pills through the first 4 days and didn't need any more after that. Pretty much was able to control everything with just Tylenol and Advil and Aleve. I slept propped up for quite a while just because I was nervous about my arm, flopping while I was sleeping, not being able to control it and rolling over onto it. I didn't want any of that to happen. So I was in the post-surgery dressing for about 11 days. After that, they took it off. I got to see where the incisions were, and I can show you the scar. If you look, the scar goes from here to here. It's about 3 inches, I'd say, and it actually is healing really well. I'm pleased with that. It was held in with 2 pins. There was a pin here, and there was a pin here. And what they did was they removed the scapholunate ligament from there. They took out a ligament that runs from here to about here that apparently you don't use. So I had 3 incisions. There's one there, and one there. Removed that ligament, put it in here, pins on either side. And so, I get to see that. There was from that surgery, there was about 30 stitches in total between the 6 incisions. Really, I guess I get my hard cast on after that, and really the thing that gave me the most trouble was swelling, because there isn't anywhere for your arm to go once it swells, once it's inside the hard cast. So the spots where it would swell mostly were the sites where the pins are. And really, that, I don't want to say it was miserable, but it was quite annoying when it would swell. Pretty much had to elevate it, so I'd walk around looking like an idiot with my arm above my head all the time. But day-to-day stuff really didn't affect it too much. Typing on my computer, I would find myself using my right hand still, and just a little bit of typing with one finger really would cause it to swell. So, the further along I got in my recovery, the less swelling there was, and the easier it was to, go through the day without taking any type of anti-inflammatories. Once the hard cast came off, that was about 8 weeks in, I think. Hard cast came off, and they put me in a soft splint, which I'm able to remove. I sleep with it right now, and I go to the gym. Whenever I go to the gym, I wear it. I will say, as far as my level of activity, about a week post-surgery, I started walking, just to walk again, 2 to 3 miles at a time, outside on the treadmill, whatever it was. About a month post-surgery, I started going back to the gym. I obviously couldn't use my right hand for anything, so I've kind of developed like a winter soldier arm, left arm. Just from, I'm working that out pretty heavily, along with keeping my core and my back and my legs strong. So, like I said, after about a month, I got back into the gym, just pretty much avoiding using my right hand and doing anything that would be over strenuous with that, and that's worked out pretty well. I'm starting to get back into it a little bit. For instance, I did push-ups on my knees, on my knuckles with my right hand the other day. And again, that's at about 13 weeks out. Once the cast came off and they put me in the soft splint, I could barely move my hand because everything was so stiff. I had no strength in my hand. I could not touch my thumb to my pinky because my thumb had been immobilized for so long that it didn't move at all. Now I can move it all the way over, but at the time I could barely get it to my pointer finger. It was amazing. And then as far as my level of motion, I'm able to do 45 and 45. Well, right around there. That's what they did at the physical therapist today. But initially there was no moving. It was maybe that, if even, and I couldn't turn it over or under. It was always just kind of in one spot. So that's what I'm working towards is, mobility and strength with the hand. About half the strength is back to my hand right now. As time has gone on, I've been able to, do more and more things. Cut food, shave my face with my right hand, brush my teeth, those types of things. Put deodorant on, because I will say, the entire time I had my hard cast on, I really wasn't able to use my hand for much. So, I had to have a bag over my hand when I showered. I had to use an electric razor. I had to learn how to brush my teeth with my left hand and pretty much do everything, with just one hand. So if you are thinking about having the surgery, or you're going to have the surgery, I would suggest, take a couple of days, go through your morning routine, for instance, using your whichever hand isn't going to get cut. Just to determine, how restricted you're going to be and how you're going to have to change your life. I went out and bought loafers because I knew I wasn't going to be able to tie my shoes. I bought a ratcheting belt because I knew I wasn't going to be able to put my belt on. And in my first video, I talked about the sling. The sling that they sent me home in was just cheap cloth, nothing to it. And with your arm being as numb as it was for an entire day, or a couple of days, and you having to keep it elevated, I'd suggest that you go to Amazon and find a sling. You can get one for $40 that has one of the pillows attached to it, and then you don't have to worry about it. It's comfortable. It even had, amazing, it had a slot for my cell phone, so you could tuck your cell phone right into it. So again, my activity level now, I can do pretty much everything. I don't want to say everything. I can't do everything. I'm back to jogging, so I can go run 4 or 5 miles. I can go to the gym. I just, don't use this hand for much. I'm back to, again, shaving. I can grab things. And as more time goes on, I'm less and less cognizant of what I'm doing with my right hand. I'm using it more for things. So hopefully this is helpful. I would say if you are considering having the surgery, do it 100%. It's going to be a pain for a couple of weeks, but it will be nice to be able to use my hand again, in a normal fashion, be able to bowl, be able to do push-ups, those types of things, without the limitations that I had before it. It's really not that bad. If you're worried about the pain, again, the pain, there really hardly isn't any. It's more of an annoyance than anything, but it's amazing how quickly you can adapt. So thanks for listening. Hope you all do well.